How can spirituality change your life? First of all, we need to clarify what is spirituality. And there is also another video about 10 months ago, which is all about what is spirituality, what is the difference between spirituality and religion, because people normally think that is the same thing. So just to give a brief refresh of the explanation, spirituality is the journey that our soul is doing among all the different reincarnations, if you believe in them, through which our soul is learning tools of growth and self-development, is basically learning lessons in each life that our body goes through our soul learn lessons, sometimes willingly, sometimes unwillingly, which means that in the passage between one life and the other one, and I always say that I like believing that there is a sort of reincarnation office where we go there and do soul contracts, where we basically go through all that happened in this life, and there is this moment of commitments of what actually we would love to learn for the evolution of our soul. Then, of course, how this is going to happen, it's not in our power to know, and this is where the challenges of life come to let us understand the lessons. While instead religion is one of the tools that our soul uses to learn these lessons. So religion is at service of spirituality, and when it's not, religion doesn't have any sense in general, because religion, which is not the institution, is a way through which we can go through some beliefs according to one God, many gods, deities, of whatever are the main guidelines of that principles in that specific religions, that we can choose as one way to go through our spirituality, while instead spirituality is not a choice, is a necessity of the soul. The religion is a choice. Religion is a choice. So you can choose to use it or not, or you can choose another way. For example, you can also choose shamanism, which is not a religion, but it's a healing practice that you can choose in order to go through your spiritual journey. Or you can choose another way if you don't want to believe in anything and you have a personal concept of spirituality that you can also call personal development, if you think that the concept of spirituality is too heavy for you. But here it's just the mind that feels the label heavy. If you call it journey of your spirit, journey of your soul, it's simply seen as a beautiful way of traveling throughout all the reincarnations and all the different dimensions. When you decide to live your life merged with spirituality, then your whole life changes. Because this is what happened to me. At the beginning, I've always been a spiritual person and grew up and grown up in a spiritual family where we have always been open to every sort of spiritual beliefs, every sort of religions, not necessarily one specifically, even if I grew up Catholic and then I became and decided to study Buddhism, and now I'm more open to a concept of all the deities are together and they're doing a teamwork over there and around us to support us. So I'm more familiar definitely with a couple of religions, and I don't have enough knowledge about the others. But I've always like not choosing at the moment to say what box I need to tick, especially when they ask you those questions, and being open to different ways. So when you choose to live your life in a spiritual way, it means that the whole projection that is coming from yourself of the reality around you entirely changes. It changes the meaning of the events that happen around you, and also inside yourself, inside your own body. You start welcoming situations as learning, as lessons, which doesn't mean that we live in a way of peace and love, peaceful, accepting everything, because we are human beings. So we have our moments, we have our challenges, but we decode these challenges and happenings always as an opportunity of learning. Not necessarily we need to understand what and how. Sometimes we just need to welcome them, so that we don't have our mind coming in and trying to analyze, understand. That's why, for example, the difference in the dream process, for example, in psychoanalysis, the dream is sectioned, is analyzed in every single element. In shamanism, not. We go into the dream process, the dream time, welcoming the messages that came through the night as simply the counterpart of the day, but not necessarily thinking that because I was dreaming that element, it means this, it means that, or if I was in my house. Then, of course, sometimes this is happen instead throughout the day, when we analyze where are some things happening in our life, in which areas, in my work, in my home, in which room, because of course then they are connected. They speak to areas of our life, or they speak to areas of our body, or like when we are having illnesses or parts that our bodies are communicated, that are connected with chakras, that are connected with emotional elements. So when you start living in this way, the whole meaning of life changes, and also the whole and vast land of opportunities, you understand, that are actually unlimited, and they are not limited to what your conditions in this life, your background, your learning. But when you open up yourself with a spiritual viewing, you actually open up in a co-creation of work with the spirits. So when you live, if you want to live in a spiritual way, it's always good to start in an easy way for things that are already part of our daily background. Also among people that don't like defining themselves spiritual, which can be just like 5-10 minutes of morning meditation, or expressing gratitude, or simply go out for a walk and connect with nature. These are very easy, basic elements in which we can start living in a more spiritual way, because it means that we are paying attention to other elements, to something else that we have in our life. Then in the second stage, if we want to live considering our personal spiritual growth and personal development, we can start going a little bit deeper, so going through a self-reflection process, and start observing what are the areas that I need to work on in this life and in this moment, and what am I ready to do? What do I want to do? Am I ready to put the effort to start working on them? Because it can take years, and you definitely need to go through your shadow time, the dark night, as it's called, this shadow moment, because going inside and deeper, digging inside ourselves take sometimes really many months, many years. And the more you remove a layer, the more you discover that there is another one under the surface. Like when you're doing a shamanic healing on a person, and in one session you heal a part, and then the following session that is happening after maybe some months, there is another part that needs to be healed. But first you had to remove this part of our life. And then, of course, the third phase would be to start living authentically and deeply embracing spirituality, which means in integrating more discipline and making some choices, personal choices into your own life. Because in the moment that you want to, for example, consider to expand and having around you a spiritual community, it means that some choices sometimes are natural, some others have to be done, of surrounding yourself of people that have their own spiritual beliefs and concept, or at least they are here with their heart open. They maybe still haven't decided what, but they are here with their heart open and know that some work needs to be done to arrive at the end of this reincarnation, back again to the reincarnation office, and ready to embark on a new journey.